You know that feeling, right? See a product just explode overnight. Seems like everyone's talking about it.
Oh, yeah. Often it's down to just a few key people online.
Exactly. That's the power of really smart influencer marketing we're seeing. And actually, speaking of boosting your own online presence while this is on your mind,
Uh-huh.
you might want to check out rapidboost.net. They've got strategies, tools, could give your social profiles a nice little lift.
Good tip.
But yeah, today, our main focus is helping you navigate what feels like, well, an overwhelming world sometimes, finding the best influencers for your brand.
It really can feel overwhelming. So many creators out there.
Right. So our mission, let's say, for this deep dive is to get past the guesswork. We want to give you some, battle-tested, actionable strategies.
Moving towards partnerships that actually deliver ROI.
Exactly. ROI-driven partnerships. We'll dig into why the right fit is so crucial, proven ways to find those gems.
How to spot real engagement, too. That's key.
Definitely. And building real connections, not just transactions. Plus, those vital steps for, vetting potential partners properly.
It's interesting, isn't it, how the whole idea of influence has shifted.
How so?
Well, brands aren't just chasing huge follower numbers anymore, or at least the smart ones aren't.
Okay.
There's this growing awareness that a partnership that doesn't quite fit, it can actually hurt your brand credibility.
Yeah, that makes sense, like a bad endorsement.
Think about that Pepsi ad with Kendall Jenner. Huge reach, obviously.
Oh, I remember that.
But it just missed the mark completely, right? Damaged the brand's image because it felt, well, inauthentic. It didn't resonate.
That's a really powerful example. It nails the point that it's about authenticity, relevant reach, and real resonance. That combo matters way more than just a big follower number.
Precisely.
And actually, we're seeing this interesting power shift, aren't we? Towards micro-influencers, even nano-influencers.
Definitely. Those with smaller, tighter communities.
Yeah. And there's data, I think Mark published something, showing that engagement rates on Instagram actually tend to drop as follower counts go up.
That's right. It suggests that deep connection, that relatability can often be, more valuable than just sheer scale.
So the big question is, how do we actually tap into that? How do we find these high-value partners?
Well, the very first step, and it sounds obvious, but it's often missed,
Okay.
is defining your goals for the collaboration. With absolute clarity, what do you actually want to achieve?
Right. Is it sales? Is it building trust?
Yeah.
Awareness? Getting user-generated content, maybe?
Exactly. You need to know the specific outcomes you're aiming for. That becomes your filter, for everyone you look at.
It's like knowing your destination before you start driving. And part of that is knowing your audience, right? Inside and out.
Absolutely fundamental. Who are they? What are their demographics? Sure, but also their interests, their values. What do they care about?
Once you've got that clear picture, then you can start looking. Where do they hang out online? Who do they listen to in those spaces?
And there are several ways to research this effectively. Social listening tools are great for tracking conversations, finding who's influential in your niche. And don't forget the platforms themselves. Use their search tools, features like Instagram suggested for you or, TikTok's For You page. The algorithms can help.
Hashtags too, I guess.
Oh, definitely. Hashtag exploration is huge. If you're a wellness brand, looking at hashtag wellness journey or hashtag mindful movement, that can lead you straight to creators who are genuinely living that life.
Makes sense. And what about looking at what competitors are doing?
Always smart. See who they're working with, what's working, what's maybe not working so well. You learn from their wins and their mistakes.
Okay, so that's the manual approach, sort of digging around. But aren't there tools now, platforms?
Yes, absolutely. The rise of specialized influencer discovery platforms has really changed the game, made things more efficient.
Like what sort of platforms?
Well, you've got ones like Aspire IQ. They focus a lot on relationship building. Upfluence is known for its heavy data analysis using AI. Then there's GRAN, Heapsy. Lots of options.
And what do they do? Just give you a list of names.
Much more than that. They have these really advanced filters. You can search by niche, obviously, but also by average engagement rates, specific audience demographics, location, even cost estimates.
Wow, okay, so it's like a super-powered search engine just for influencers.
Pretty much. And the AI side is getting really interesting. Some can help assess brand fit, spot fake followers, even predict how a campaign might perform.
Really? predicting performance.
Yeah, based on past data, we saw sources mention brands like Versed using Upfluence specifically for that, finding micro-influencers based on solid data, not just gut feeling.
That data focus leads nicely to the next point, right?
Yeah.
Prioritizing real engagement over just, big numbers.
Critically important. That engagement rate tells you so much about audience loyalty. A micro-influencer, maybe 10K followers, but a 6% engagement rate, that person could drive way better results than someone with 100K followers, but only, say, 0.5% engagement. That larger audience might not be truly listening.
Right. You want actual interaction.
Yeah.
Real comments, discussions, not just great posts, copied and pasted.
Exactly. And the quality, the consistency of their content matters too. Does it genuinely align with your brand's values, your aesthetic?
Yeah. Does their vibe match your vibe?
Yeah.
And are their followers your target audience? Are there tools for checking that overlap?
There are. Tools like Hype Auditor can give you really detailed breakdowns of an influencer's audience demographics, helping you see if it aligns with who you're trying to reach.
Okay, so find them, check their engagement, check their audience.
Yeah.
What about actually connecting with them?
This is where it shifts from just finding names to building relationships. The best collaborations honestly feel less like transactions.
Well, like partnerships.
Exactly. And often the best way to start is organically. Before you even think about outreach, engage with their stuff.
Like comment on their posts, share them.
Yeah, leave genuine, thoughtful comments. Show you actually appreciate their work. It builds a bit of rapport before you slide into their DMs with a proposal.
Makes sense. It's like networking in real life. And when you do reach out, think about offering value beyond just cash.
Definitely. Could it be exclusive access, getting them involved in creating something together, maybe even profit sharing down the line?
That sounds more collaborative. And maybe thinking longer term, like ambassador programs.
Yes, our sources really highlighted those. Long-term ambassador programs can foster much deeper, more authentic endorsements. The creator kind of grows with your brand.
Okay, so you found some potentials, you started engaging. Now comes the really critical part, vetting, making sure they're legit and safe for your brand.
Crucial stage. This is about protecting your investment and your brand reputation. You need some advanced vetting techniques here.
Like what? How do you spot red flags?
Well, platforms like Social Blade or FollowerWonk can help analyze follower growth patterns. Sudden, huge jumps. That might signal bot followers.
Right. Fake followers. The bane of influencer marketing.
It can be, so you need to be a bit of a digital detective.
Yeah.
And you absolutely have to do a content audit.
Meaning go through their old posts.
Yep. Not just the sponsored ones. Look at their organic stuff, too. Have they posted anything controversial, engaged in negativity that just doesn't align with your brand image?
Yeah, you wouldn't want surprises later.
No. And it's also smart to ask them for case studies. See results they've gotten for other brands they've worked with.
Good idea. Get some proof of performance. What about the legal and ethical side?
Oh, so vital. Check their disclosure practices. Are they clearly labeling ads according to, say, FTC guidelines?
Important.
Are they currently promoting any of your direct competitors? That could be awkward.
Definitely a conflict of interest.
And fundamentally, do your values line up? If you're all about sustainability, you probably don't want someone constantly pushing fast fashion.
That makes total sense. It's about that core alignment. Like Glossier, right? They built so much success using carefully chosen micro-influencers who shared their whole aesthetic and values.
Exactly. That careful vetting and alignment is key.
Let's talk a bit more about those micro and nano influencers. What are the typical follower ranges we're talking about?
Generally, micro is sort of in the 10,000 to 100,000 follower range. Nano is usually under 10,000.
Okay, so smaller audiences, but potentially more potent?
Often, yes. Their audiences tend to be really loyal, really engaged, and the trust factor can be incredibly high.
Higher trust than big celebrities.
There's evidence for that. A 2023 study by Rakuten found, I think it was 44% of consumers, said they trust recommendations from micro-influencers more than celebs.
Wow, 44%. Why do you think that is?
It often comes down to relatability. You know, they feel more like a peer, like a friend sharing something they genuinely like, rather than a distant star doing an ad read.
Yeah, I can see that. More authentic.
And we see great examples, sustainable brands finding their tribe within these smaller, passionate eco-communities online.
Or local businesses.
Perfect example, partnering with a hyper-local food blogger who people in that specific town actually follow and trust. That can drive real foot traffic.
And I bet they're often more affordable, too. And maybe easier to work with.
Generally, yes. Advantages include better affordability, more flexibility in how you structure the deal, and often a greater openness to co-creating the content together.
Okay, so wrapping this all together,
Hmm.
if someone listening wants to start doing this properly, what's the actionable plan? Like a checklist.
Okay, yeah, let's make it practical. First, build that ideal influencer persona. Think audience overlap, content style, platform they use, location, key values. Get specific.
Right. Know who you're looking for, step one.
Step 2, dive into social listening and hashtag research. Find those rising stars, the relevant voices in your niche.
Okay, actively search.
Yeah.
Step 3, use those discovery platforms we mentioned.
Hmm?
Leverage their filters to really narrow down your options efficiently. Got it. Use the tools. Step 4.
Genuine engagement before outreach. Comment, share, build that initial connection. Then, personalize your outreach message, show you've actually paid attention.
Don't just send a generic template, please.
Please don't. Step 5, advanced vetting. Use the tools, do the content audit, check for authenticity and brand safety.
Crucial diligence. Step 6.
Craft win-win proposals. Highlight the mutual benefits, what's in it for them, what's in it for you. Make it a partnership from the start.
Makes sense. And finally,
Step 7, monitor performance. Track your results, learn what works, and iterate. This isn't a one-and-done thing. It's an ongoing cycle of refinement.
okay, that's a really solid checklist.
Yeah,
So the main takeaway here isn't about chasing the biggest names, is it?
not at all. It's about clarity of your goals. It's about using the right tools strategically.
Prioritizing that authentic engagement we talked about.
Yes, and focusing on building real, potentially long-term relationships with creators.
And when you do that, when you forge those quality collaborations, that's what really builds your brand's perception over time.
Exactly. It builds trust, credibility, and positive associations in the long run.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to chew on.
Okay.
Could it be that a carefully chosen network of smaller, really engaged micro or even nano influencers might actually give you more bang for your buck, more impact than always chasing that broad, sometimes kind of superficial reach?
It's definitely something to consider, rethinking what influence really means for your brand.